Pole.
So you see now, are you still with me? I hope you are still with me. You are following my story. Because I want you to follow my story up to today. So that from now, we walk this journey together and we see where we are going, whom we are going to find, what we are going to find, and how we are going to do life in America. As I said in my previous part, I'm shooting this video while I'm still in Kenya. I just got my visa last week. So here we are. I told you about how someone applied the DV for me. A young guy in Kabete at the cyber just asked me for my details and he applied for me. I have also said about how I realized I had won, which was in the year last year, 2022. In May, actually, what a coincidence. But in that May, I was just destroying papers in a strange file that I just filed miscellaneous. And in that file, I find this paper that this cyber guy had given me. And I took a photo of the paper because I didn't even think you can win green card anyway. And I forwarded to my daughter by WhatsApp. And I put a caption, you can check if this thing went through. And the following day, of course, to cut the story short, she calls me, tells me I have won. And of course, the excitement, the disbelief, all of that. But when now she checked, there's this confirmation that comes that says, congratulations, you have been randomly selected for the DV Rotary as a winner. It is on that notification that they guide you to open another link. And it is when you open that link takes you to the famous DS260. The famous DS260. Luckily, my son-in-law, who is the husband to my daughter, was actually around because he's not always around. And so he took up the challenge. He took me through the DS260. He looked, he researched, he looked. He'd never filled it before. So he went online, he looked, filled it. DS260, you don't fill it in a day. You fill until you are exhausted. Then you save. You don't submit. Tomorrow you continue. The other day you continue. Today the first page might be asking you to identify yourself in details. Watu jamani wanaweza wakakuuliza hata namba ya chifu wa kwenu. Then you give those details. And then you go to the next section. Your family. Watu wanaweza wakakuuliza siku ile uliconceive your firstborn. Then you fill that. You fill into details. When was your child born? How many children do you have? What are their birthdays? Which schools do they go to? Which secondary schools? Where do they work if they work? Blah, blah, fish cake. You feel by evening you're exhausted. Section 3, my God. Your education background. That is not enough. Your work background. Manze, you have to go back and find out. From this year to this year, I worked for Mawe Foundations. From this year to this year, I worked for Trees Foundations. From this year to this year, I worked for Animals Foundations. You have to feel that and you have to be extremely precise. And especially if you have ever applied for a visa before, what you are saying must tally to the letter with whatever it is you had filled 10 years ago. And that is why I want to advise everybody. If you ever apply for a visa, American visa, Australian visa, Canada visa, European visa, kindly print out that paper. It may be DS whatever 60. Print it out. So that when you are applying again, you will repeat the very things that you said because they tally what you have ever said and what you are saying now. And that can be your detrimental. Luckily, I had ever applied for a visa before, but this was a visitor's visa. I had wanted to attend a wedding, and I was denied that time. That time, I had filled in a DS-160, but I had printed for just me. I keep records. My life is full of records. So I target what I am saying when I'm filling the DS-260 with what I had said on that paper. For example, on that paper, I'd said, I'm single, I'm a mother of 3, these are their birthdays. I had to repeat that 3 or 4 years later because they will check. They will specifically check why I was denied, so you can be sure they will go back to my records because their system will show that I had been denied. So we feel, took us a week. Thank God, Tosh, my son-in-law, was around. And every day you feel and you save. You feel and you save. So that you can come back. You don't know how many times I had to go back home in Kapete to bring other documents to my son's house because we didn't know they'd be asked and we don't know the answers. So I took time. After 1 week, you don't know how I felt when he finally pressed submit. And whether the document was right or wrong, at that moment, all I wanted was just press submit. We are done and over with. And now the long, anxious wait started officially on pressing submit on DS260. That is where anxiety starts. Because you don't know whether it will go through. You don't know what will happen. You don't know if you will ever be called. I was to be called several months later in this year, 2023, in June, in July, in August, almost an year later of anxiety. And at this point, that is when I thank YouTubers, especially those who are guiding us, Matters DV, Matters Lottery, because you are my therapy. I was falling back on those people to listen, to learn, and to be patient. And so finally, when the time was almost over in July, bam, I got the invitation letter to the interview, and then for the doctors, whatever, and I'll put you through that. So continue working with me. Kindly subscribe, press the notification button, like, share. Let us walk this journey together. I'm still in Kenya, preparing to walk with me. Ciao. When I talk about YouTubers, be very careful. Not all YouTubers are legit. Not all of them are genuine. There are those who are genuine, but they talk of things they have not done any research about. So they will give you a lot of misleading information, a lot of nonsense, and I think sometimes they are there hoping to earn from YouTube. And so they waste your time, they waste your Wi-Fi, they waste your energy, they discourage you. So there was this particular YouTuber who really is down to earth. He's so intelligent, you can tell by listening to him. He looks for information, he researches. He's called Verified Soul. That young guy, I didn't know him, but he held my hand, walked me through until here I am. And you need him. Try him out because he calms that anxiety. And anxiety can boil to blood pressure. I'm telling you, I've been in it. Verified Soul. Check out his YouTube. Check out his YouTube. He really knows what he's saying. So that is my journey. And I will now tell you about my doctor's appointment coming up next. So guys, subscribe, Lukaime, subscribe, like, share, hit the notification button. Let's do this.